I'm not going to do what I did last year, almost by design.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I look at my goals, right? I kind of got them emojied out.
Mm-hmm.
I've got, the people, the time, and the heart.
Love it.
the poop didn't come in.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's on Mooney's.
Yeah, exactly.
Move that over here.
It's
It's
like,
got stateside oranges,
yeah, right.
the poop.
Yeah, it's like, you're looking at the people that you're around, the amount of time that you're spending in a day,
Right.
And then are you loving what you do?
Welcome to the podcast dedicated to real estate, insurance, and building your business. Join us as we take you along our own business building journeys with additional wisdom from our network of local and national experts. Welcome to Bricks and Risk.
This episode is brought to you by Property Management Redefined. PMR is not just managing properties, we're creating partnerships that build long-term success for property owners. John and his team can be reached at manage@gopmr.com or by phone 267-753-6005. Tim,
Yes, Sean.
who's a good client for PMR?
Property Management Redefined is looking for property owners who value three things: accountability, reliability, and a results-driven approach. We want to maximize returns, but still provide client and tenant satisfaction.
There's a lot of property managers out there.
Yes, there are.
What does PMR do really well?
Biggest thing is they're seamless and they're worry-free. So with that approach in mind, it allows the property owner to put their trust in PMR and know that the results will be there. The other thing I think a property owner is really going to value because they do it so well is that they have a local expert team, boots on the ground, managing your properties and your tenants' expectations every day so that you feel good about your investments.
We have millions of listeners out there.
Tens of millions.
If they want more information, how do they find PMR?
Right here, guys. Reach out to John Sachs and his team at Property Management Redefined. They'll take good care of you. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bricks and Risk. I'm Tim Garrity.
And I'm Vic Vaughn.
How you doing today, Vic?
I'm doing good.
Is Vic short for Victor?
Victor,
Okay,
with
good.
a K.
Wanted to check. Well, today, Victor, with a K, we have an awesome guest, a local real estate superstar. We have Justin Heath, team leader at Selling Greater Philly team. How you doing today, Justin?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Welcome in.
What's up, everyone?
Thanks for coming in. So a little background on our boy Justin here. So through positivity, accountability, and real-world strategies, Justin helps agents break through self-doubt, stay consistent, and create the careers they dream about. Whether it's through team meetings, one-on-one coaching, or everyday encouragement, his goal is simple: help agents find their fire and keep it burning. Not only is he a successful realtor, but he's a husband and a dad, 4 kids, got 2 boys, 14-year-old and a 19-month-old, correct?
That's right.
And you have 2 girls, a 12-year-old and a 4-year-old. And we'll just put the cherry on top and we'll throw 2 dogs into the mix as well.
2 crazy dogs.
Might as
Yeah.
well.
So you got your hands full.
It's a full house.
I love it. All right. So, big area of focus for you today is investing time in the right spaces. Talk to Sean and I about what are the right spaces you're trying to spend your time on?
Yeah, the first thing I think of is identifying the time management piece.
Yep.
Is huge. It's been an Achilles heel of mine for such a long time. This last couple of years has been a refocus on that. I think identifying certain spaces, obviously from a business perspective, your client base is really, really important to you ongoing.
Yep.
Making sure you're staying in touch. From an agent perspective, a business relationship from agents, it's, trying to identify what's important to them and then really kind of drilling down on how they're going to spend their time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember you and I were talking about this recently. So full disclaimer, we'll have Dill do the little 1995 scrolling style. Justin and I both work for Real Broker.
Yes, we do.
And at Real Broker, you can be a solo agent.
Yep.
You could be a team. You could be an independent brokerage that comes into Real and says, hey, I want to keep my independent brokerage brand. And I want you to be the back office, the ops. And then also you can build a network. And what a network, the way I understand it, because I've only been there a little over a year, it's just people who want to collaborate and work together under the same roof. And like we did an episode recently on like the old school brokerage versus the new school brokerage. And the old school was like, we want you to compete. Like, one should be number one in this office, the number one team, like number one in the region. And they post the stats every month. You're the third best mini team in all of Greater Philadelphia. And as much as I knock
down that road,
as much as I knock it, I'm not totally knocking it. Like, to each their own. Everyone does it differently. But with you and I being where we are and having it more of like a collaborative network approach, how does that make you look at spending your time? Are you spending your time like telling people about where we work, or are you just focused on your clients, or both? Like, where are you at?
it's a little bit of both, right? Like I'm loving the agent to agent relationship, right? Having a conversation about what other agents are doing in their business, what they're thinking and feeling about their brokerage, how the market is affecting things. It's like you learn a lot in conversation.
Like networking.
It's networking. It really is. I was talking to somebody the other day and I was saying, it's important to have those agent relationships because it will help you win business.
Yep.
Period. If you're helping a client find a home, sell a home, like having that agent to agent relationship, you might win a deal just solely based off on your relationship.
Yep.
Or they know you, they know your background, they know that you're going to deliver and make sure that deal gets done.
Right.
And so there's some priority, when it deals with you rather than someone else.
Yeah, you get preference sometimes.
You do.
And it's a shame to say it that way, but it does matter, right?
Well, put yourself in their shoes. So let's say you have a listing and you're representing the seller and the seller only. 9 times out of 10, another agent's going to bring the buyer. It's normally an agent at another brokerage. That's the most common. So when you represent the seller, you're looking out for the seller's best interest. Maintain the leverage, the value, keep the time low. Like, don't give it away. Don't overprice. Like, there's all these strategies we have with sellers in order to get them the most amount of money with the least amount of pain. And then let's say it's a hot listing and 50 people come through the house and you get 5 offers and you look at the one, you're like, I know that guy or I know that girl and they're awesome. When you go to talk to your seller client, you're going to say, look, we got 5. I will tell you, this one might not be the highest price, but this one has a very high likelihood of being no BS, of understanding each other. We've worked together before, and that has value in itself. Because let's say you go under for the highest offer and you don't know that agent and it falls through. Well, guess what? Now the seller just lost a whole lot of leverage because they're like, what's wrong with that house?
And they start doubting you.
Yes.
And then you need to avoid that.
Yeah.
At all costs.
Yep.
It's a tough business. It really is. So that agent relationship is everything at the end of the day. So from a time perspective, like I'm talking to as many people in the business as I possibly can, I think when you're in this business, it's very easy to isolate yourself or feel isolated.
Totally.
So the last couple of years of really, since joining Real, man, it's been over 2 years since I've been with Real. I'm really trying to put a deep focus on connecting with people because at the end of the day, like that's what we are. We're connectors.
Yeah. Well, and again, you and I don't have that traditional office model. Like people, like you opened your own office. Like Christine, shout out to Christine Ertz as our Main Street office in Manayunk. And you guys did that by choice. And you're like, hey, I want a place, I want a headquarters, I want a space I can work in peace, client meetings, closings, collaboration events, like whatever it is. So like a lot of people at our brokerage, they're mobile. They work out of their homes. They work out of coffee shops. They work out of wherever. And that does isolate you. It isolates you to the point where if you are not making an effort to go out, network with more agents, not only to help your clients, like maybe you're looking for an investment, maybe you're looking for your next home for your family, but building that rapport and having that reputation locally is huge. It's like, that's a benefit to your clients.
It is. It really is. I mean, at the end of the day, like that's what business falls back on, right? It's the relationship piece. It's no different for you in your business too.
Same thing.
Same thing for Victor.
Vic.
Yeah.
He goes by Vic.
Vic. Sorry, Vic.
So you talked about being with Real for 2 years
Yep.
and mentioning that either it was the culture or the operations were different at your prior brokerage.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what you were doing prior and maybe like reasons why you had left or what you were looking for that was different than what you had during that time?
Yeah. So, I won't name names. We'll keep it anonymous.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can find out where I was before
sure.
if you really want
You
to.
can look them up.
But this is the third brokerage stop for me and probably will be the last one unless something drastic changes. Right. Previous brokerage, you're playing in their sandbox.
Yep.
They want you to do things stylistically
We were just talking about this.
their way. And it's their way or no way.
And what examples? Like it's hard for me to kind of like understand
You're stuck with, color scheme.
branding, marketing.
Black and white.
Business structures.
Business structures different. I think agent to agent relationships are very different at that brokerage.
Yeah.
You're measured on
Competition.
competition, your volume, number of transactions. It's like I've gone away to their retreats and it's like, what'd you do last year?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, why? It's like,
Who gives a
we
shit?
don't even know.
By the way, my name is Justin.
Yeah, we're not even first names yet. So, being in an element, I mean, it taught me a lot.
Yeah.
It was a good experience in the beginning.
Understand.
Yeah, absolutely. You're around higher end agents, let's just say, right? It's 10 million to walk through the door there, to get in the door. And you're learning a little bit of a different business strategy, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't hurt.
No.
After year one, you see where the path that you're heading down, and it's a different model. It's a different ideology. It's a different structure.
And to a certain extent, it's not the path that you're choosing, but rather the path that they're directing you down. Is that?
Yeah.
That's probably a better way to put it. Like, remember, again, old school, new school brokerages. Some thrive more on the competition and leading with the brokerage's brand, and some thrive more of the new school on leading through collaboration and the agent's brand. Let the agent, we think the agent should have a brand. We want to be the support system to the agent
forward,
and how they are looked at, how they operate. Whether you're one or a team of 100, you did 2 million last year, you did 250 million last year. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But they're looking at it more. The agent leads the charge, and I think this is just where the residential real estate industry has gone.
I think so. I think you're starting to see in the last handful of years a new wave of real estate is rearing its head for the better. You're starting to see it's the agent that really matters and not so much the brokerage.
Yeah.
It's funny, the overlay as we talk about real estate and the industry and the kind of the way that it's going, which feels like there's more steam in that direction than the other direction.
Than going backwards.
Right. And insurance. Like, I remember when I started my brokerage, people were like, you can't start an independent brokerage. Like,
what are you nuts?
You need a name. You need a brand to like sit on.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to tell someone they should be insured with Mooney Insurance? Like,
why would someone go to Victor Insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
I feel like the insurance business, you can lend your thoughts to this. I feel like you're scrutinized more heavily than we are in some instances.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the insurance tastes better and smell better at this big box shop versus Mooney Insurance Brokers and Ambler.
Yeah. And here's the reason why is if you have an insurance company that spends $1 billion on advertising.
Jake from State Farm.
Right. See, we all know that.
It's that recognizability. And so it's kind of built in to the framework that these people are so big that they're going to take care of you when there's a claim.
Yeah.
And it's actually in reverse. They spend the money to bring the people in to buy that credibility.
And then you're almost forgotten about.
And then time of a claim, it's like they're big enough where they can just
force you out or say, no, we're not going to do anything there. You don't like it, leave.
Yeah. So what I'm kind of having to do is the same. Put my brand forward. You know, when you're insured with our brokerage, you're insured with me,
Yeah.
right?
It's your name.
Yeah. And so I'm
Victor.
Victor.
Victor's a good
I'm the
dude.
one that's going to make sure that you're taken care of. If there's a problem, you're coming to me. So it's kind of very similar in the direction. And a lot of these other big box insurance companies have actually changed their whole insurance model. So like Nationwide Insurance years ago was Nationwide. You were a nationwide agent. You only sold nationwide and that was it. And recently did a 180. Was like, okay, nationwide agents, you are a independent broker now. We'll allow you to sell our products, but you are no longer.
Now you have access to others.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they kind of started it, but
that means you can sell it.
Yep.
Too. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. And that's one of many that are now changing their direction. So it's just funny that back when I started, everyone was like,
well, as a consumer, why wouldn't you want to go to somebody that has options?
Because you see the commercials and you buy into that.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so much spent that it's a funnel, right? And if you spend this much, then your funnel's this big and you're just going to be able to get that many people. That's kind of the.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's interesting too, like, you know, when we grew up, so we're 80s kids, let's call it. And you're growing up in the 80s and you're watching your favorite Saturday morning cartoons or wrestling, or you're watching shows on Friday night when you're like 8 years old with your siblings or your parents or whatever. You know,
He-Man.
Welcome back, Cotter.
He-Man was one of my favorites. Skeletor's Beast. And, you know, the concept of sitting down and watching TV with siblings or family or friends or whatever was that everything you watch had commercials unless you went to Blockbuster Video, which doesn't exist anymore.
Crazy to think that that's gone.
And you could watch a movie without commercials.
Yeah.
Now, my daughter is going to be 7 in a couple weeks, and she can watch whatever she wants without commercials. And as many episodes as we could binge the whole season of Give a Mouse a Cookie on Prime Video. That's based on a book that somehow spawned 5 or 6 seasons.
Miss Rachel's floating around in my mind right now.
And
So
Miss
she's on a
like
hamster
all
wheel.
that stuff. And the thing is, now the content creators are controlling the airwaves, whereas before it was the big, you know, television companies or media companies controlling what you consumed and what you saw, and then it was newspapers or magazines or whatever. So we're in an age now, and it doesn't shock me that you said that about insurance, because they're realizing slower than real estate. It's not about our big company and our awesome brand. It's about Sean.
It's the relationship.
It's about Vic.
Yeah.
They want you.
And it's a bet on yourself, right? So like, I kind of had the mindset to be, you know, have that idea that I don't need that, right? I can do this on my own. I can build this the way that I want to build it. And really it was tunnel vision for me because everybody said I was crazy. What are you doing? Don't do that. I had the opportunity.
Because you're losing the safety net.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's like suicide mission.
And that's the same, it's the betting on yourself. That's why I chose to leave the former organization.
Yeah.
I couldn't build what I wanted to do really the way that I wanted to do it with the people I wanted around me.
Yeah.
Period. And that's really what it is, you know?
Yeah. And it's almost like I was listening to, we just had Corey Jacobson on from Wealth Juice. Shout out to Corey. And on one of their recent episodes I was listening to, they were talking about people that have a 9-to-5. And for the majority of people in this country, even in this world, that works for them. It works to have a routine and a safe bet and a 9-to-5 and job security and benefits and family, you know, my weekends off and family vacations and all that stuff. But when you're a hustler like the three of us are, and you're grinding on your own to build something on your own, you make time for those things. You actually have more flexibility if you're structured and you know how to run your days and your weeks and your months working for yourself. And the upside is way greater.
It's tremendous.
Yeah.
There's really no limits to it.
But here's what I'll say. It's much, much harder to get your mind wrapped around that if I just rely on myself, whether it's insurance or real estate or even whatever you're doing, you're selling widgets, and you're saying, I think I can do this. Like, that's a hard thing to even convince yourself of, let alone the people who are telling Vic over here, yo, dude, you're absolutely out of your mind for trying to start your own insurance brokerage. Like, how are you going to do that? Here we are.
Well, it's funny too, because the way
Wearing obey hats.
the way that I,
I'm a little disappointed I didn't get a better color scheme. for me today.
Yeah. That's not par for the course.
next time, version 2. It is, it's just having that ability to think beyond is kind of where it takes you, because this is the funniest part of all, is when I had it all mapped out before I left and like was going to do this.
You had a plan.
I had a blueprint and I planned, and that like literally day 2, that blueprint was like blown up.
You're like, we're at a TP. Where's that blueprint?
Exactly.
Like I was like, oh, well, I just call a couple different insurance companies and I'll, reach out and I'll sell their products. And everyone was like, get lost.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. And I'm like, well,
and that's where I go back to. It's probably more challenging in the insurance business than it is for Tim and I to pick up a phone and be like, hey, I'm a local real estate agent. I want to sell your house.
Yeah. It's like,
to a degree.
And in his business, it's like the volume matters.
Yeah.
Because the volume of your premium is really what gives you your annual revenue. And for us, it might just be a big deal here or a big deal there. Could either make your year amazing or make your year like less than what you thought it would be.
Yeah.
And then you have those little wins in between, like the $300,000 deal or the tenant client that you're just trying to help out, make a couple grand off of that, and build another relationship. But let me shift into so what you love most about what you do. You had said no 2 days are the same, and we have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. But one thing is for sure, you're excited to find out. Like, why is that an outlook for you?
I've been in the corporate world, the 9 to 5, the sales traveling role across the country for a long time as an adult, and it's monotonous. It's definitely challenging to see your worth from somebody else's perspective, right? You've got to report back into a boss who you might have closed $1 million deal the day before, but today's a new day, and it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. What have you done for me lately?
Exactly. And so my mind has always been, from a young kid, to keep pushing for more. Might not be the most talented or most athletic on the field, but I've always kind of just gone after and challenged myself to keep pushing.
Yeah.
And real estate gives that to me. It's been something that I should have started a long, long time ago, earlier than what I did, about 7 years in. But that mindset of you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, it's like, it's exciting because tomorrow could come with some really awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Or you could be handed a bag of shit.
It's true.
Right. And trying to figure out how to navigate that.
All right. So let's go back to being a kid and being driven. What was it? Do you think you had just a natural personality to be driven? Were there certain things in your life that made you want to be driven?
I grew up with a lot of older people.
Okay.
Coming in and out of the house.
And family and friends.
Yeah, family, friends, and so I never really had another kid my age that I could hang with.
You matured quickly.
Yeah. And so, I had an older brother, 6 years older than me. And I was always chasing after him one way or another, whether it was shoveling snow and wanting to, do it better or something along those lines. Yeah. It's just a competitive thing that I grew into quickly, and that's kind of stuck with me.
Interesting. I love that.
That's I see with my two boys is they're 3 years apart, and the one is just shadow, it's the funniest thing to watch. Everything's a competition in the house. I don't care if it's making your bed or eating your cereal,
right, who can eat it faster,
or doing your laundry. Literally every activity.
You probably love it too.
In the house.
It starts some fights.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
It starts some fights.
There's probably a little bit of that. I definitely can see these two for years and years. Everything just becomes.
It's the same thing with my older two.
Yeah.
I'm in this weird phase right now where I have the 14 and a 12-year-old.
Yep.
The 12-year-old, she's the girl.
Mm-hmm.
she's competitive with the 14-year-old. Like they want a foot race,
Yeah.
you know,
Wow.
with each other.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
It's like,
That's a tough girl
and
right
then-
there.
that's a tough girl, but it's like she loses, she cries, or she gets pissed.
Sure. Yeah.
He loses. He's like, what
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
You
funny
know?
how we're all wired.
Yeah. So it's like, I think it's just been ingrained in me. It's just my personality. I'm like, I'm constantly,
you know.
yeah, it's what I know. It's what
Your
I grew up
environment
with.
forever.
Yeah. And I think it's a great thing. You know?
But real estate definitely allows you to do that. It's like push beyond.
Yes.
It's like try to find new ways to do different things.
Yeah.
Right? You know, strategizing, okay, I did this much last year. Like, what can I do?
There's no one way to
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Right.
What were you doing? All right. So before you got into real estate, what were you doing in corporate America? Like what was your strength, your line of work?
I was in sales. For a while, I was negotiating like multi-million dollar contracts and managing pharmaceutical business for FedEx, traveling the country and sitting down with CFOs, CEOs of divisions of pharma companies. And I wasn't the only vendor that they were meeting with. So it was like line item meetings, like, hey, you're too high on this product here. You got to drop your cost. And so my role was to go in and negotiate those contracts to kind of get them to stick, but knowing that there was 12 other
Vendors.
potential vendors
Yeah.
sitting outside the door doing the same thing.
Wow. So it was B2B. You were
It's-
looking to get the
yeah.
shipping business for big companies selling drugs,
Yep.
basically.
Basically, you
Wow.
know,
Interesting.
as well as like their print, their marketing, like all of it wrapped into one.
Wow.
So-
Okay. So you were doing that. And do you remember if there was like, I don't want to say like a time or a moment where you're kind of like, I'm kind of sick of this. Like, I don't see the upside of me
Milwaukee.
doing this.
Milwaukee.
Yeah. Tell us about Milwaukee.
The Milwaukee airport?
Milwaukee. Just being in Milwaukee in the dead of winter,
You didn't get some
Oh.
fried cheese curds?
dude, it's brutal.
What's it like, -20?
It sucks.
Ugh.
I can
It's
see that.
like desolate
Because that's
land.
north of Chicago. I've
It's
never even
north
been
of
to Chicago,
Chicago.
but it's
Yeah.
gotta be cold.
And it's not fun.
Yeah.
And you're alone. And you're like, these people don't even want to meet with me.
right.
They don't give a shit about me.
Right.
You're from where?
You're from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We
Get the hell
hate
outta
you.
here,
Yeah.
steak boy.
Yeah. You like they ask you where you're from. You're from Philadelphia? Oh, you threw
Yeah.
snowballs at Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Right. Threw batteries at the Phillies game.
Right.
You're like, yes, we did.
He deserved
You got a
it.
Yeah.
problem with that?
He was
Yeah.
a jerk.
Now, if you ask me the highlight and be like, okay, Miami's sitting on, Ocean Drive,
Yeah. No different.
dead of summer,
Yeah.
having
So-
a having a
I had-
cappuccino.
Right. Exactly.
I had my moment where it like hit me like a bolt of lightning. Like I am done doing this. And I thought about it, and I was like, today, this is like
Yeah.
the start, day one of what I'm going to be doing. That was your Milwaukee.
Yeah, that was my Milwaukee. I couldn't stand it. Like going into, so it was basically a lot of hospital systems, a lot of pharma companies that I was going into. And it's drab. Like the psyche of those individuals that are working there, it's just like, they don't even want to talk.
No.
I'm a people person. I love people. I
Yeah.
love conversation.
You're like selling stuff. And they're
Yeah.
like trying to save lives. And they're like,
Yeah.
what are you doing here?
Yeah,
Get
they're
out
like,
of here.
We don't have time. Like, oh, wait, we gave you 15 minutes. I just traveled literally 8 hours to get here.
Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. This is Tim, your favorite Bricks and Risk co-host. But don't tell Sean. I hope you're enjoying this episode, and I'll get right back to it in a moment. Our audience grows through word of mouth. So if you would please take a moment of your time and give us a review on the platform you're on, that would be fantastic. Please also help spread the BNR word by sharing your favorite episode with a friend. We greatly appreciate your time and trust. Now, back to the show. All right, so let's talk about that too. Was it a family decision? Were you more or less like, hey, this is what I want to do, and like kind of getting the family on board?
I went through a huge life change. Got divorced, 2 small kids at the time, and I needed that job to, fulfill my obligations with taking care of
Yep.
those kids when
Yeah.
they were with me, my older 2. And I hated that job from the start. I did. I took it because it was great money, 6-figure plus bonus, benefits, the whole 9 yards. I took it because I had to take it, knowing that I knew I wasn't going to be in that role for a long time. There was
Yep.
19 of me going across the country.
Wow.
So I've got parents that were in real estate. Like that's all I've
I
ever
forgot about
known,
that.
right?
Your mom, right?
Yeah, my mom, my dad. My dad just retired this past year. So my mom's still in the business actively, but that's all I've ever known growing up is real estate, and I never sold it before. So I was like, you know what, I need this job to get me to where I need to get to.
Mhm.
So, it's one of those things where it's like, how can I carousel myself into a new industry with zero experience? You know what I mean? So it's like,
Did you lean on them? Like I imagine, like, all right, now I'm going to do real estate. Was
Yeah.
it like, all right, well, at least I have a resource, mom, dad, that I
Yeah.
can go to with these scenarios or these questions, these problems, and more than likely they've been through it? Was it?
Man, so like my dad is old school. Like it was real estate before there was real estate. Like handwriting everything,
Oh, yeah.
carbon copy.
Like, driving all across town.
Exactly.
Meeting
Yeah.
people, looking at people's books, like, oh, that's a good fit for my clients. That's what you had to do back then.
When I was 23, I wanted to be an active realtor in South Jersey. That's where I grew up, South Jersey, Atlantic County to be specific. And my dad was like, no way, not happening. You're going to go. I hated college. So I dropped out of college. I'm like, I don't need this degree. I'll scratch and claw my way up the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're going to go get corporate experience, get real world experience. You don't want this life. It's day to day. It's paid commission check to commission check type of a thing. And we fought over it. And so I wound up listening to him going into corporate America, and it taught me well, you know what I mean? So, it's one of those things where it's like, I didn't really rely on them for anything because I didn't feel like they understood properly the conditions that we were in now.
Yep. It was a different game.
It's a different game, and I knew he was against it. So I just kind of
veered the other way.
I veered the other way.
Dad, there's DocuSign now.
Yeah,
You don't got to
exactly.
run that stuff all over town anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. So my mom, on the other hand, she was a little more excited for me. In Southwest Florida, supportive.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't. It
Right,
was just
yeah.
like, why are you doing
Your dad
this?
was
Like,
practical. Your mom understood.
Yeah, he was like, you have a great salary, you got great benefits, like you're giving all that up, you have a family. It's like, yeah, but I need to do this for me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. So let's shift to, you have a new podcast that you just started that I will say I haven't listened to the first episode yet.
Yeah.
I know it kind of just came out. I saw the clip. The clip was very good. It's you and your buddy Ryan Kavanaugh.
yeah.
Talk about the new podcast, like the name, why you're doing it.
I did listen. Just
My man.
just getting it on the record.
Because he's Victor. And
Yeah,
why wouldn't
that's
he?
what Vic does.
He wears weird hats and listens to everyone's podcast.
I mean, the reality is, I sent you a text yesterday. I'm like, since meeting you and then Sean, you've inspired me to kind of change a lot of things in my business.
Appreciate that, man.
Personally, I love the podcast. I've always wanted to do a podcast. So I listened to your podcast and it's given me a lot of great ideas. And there's this thing out there, rip off and repeat.
yes.
Yep.
And it's a great
Monkey see, monkey do is how I.
Hey, a lot of the structure of our show,
Right.
we took some of that from multiple shows that we saw and we liked. We're like, we like that. We like that.
Yeah. And I think that's a great thing when you have other people that are doing it successfully and you can kind of take what they've molded and make it your own.
Mhm.
Yep.
Right. So my ideology has come from, I feel like in our industry specifically, and it's probably this way for you too, there's a lot of oldness in the industry and there's a lot of things that are not spoken about.
Yep. It is kind of like an unspoken industry a little bit.
It's like baseball's unwritten rules.
Yep.
Right. And so I wanted to kind of peel back the curtain on real estate from the consumer's perspective, from the agent relationship perspective, whether you're buying or selling or whether you have a relationship with a home inspector. I wanted to give people a different look as to what happens day to day in our world behind the scenes to make things happen.
Here's what I'll say is there's a lot of assumptions on the consumer side about what a real estate agent does.
And the rules.
And the
we
rules.
talk about the rules all the time.
All the time.
There's these assumptions out there. And I think it's a great lane to be in to kind of explain and show people what the reality is.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to be you guys are going to have a great way to lean into this and give that audience some behind the scenes ideas and operational how things work and how they go.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good idea.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What's the name of it again?
It's called Behind the Sign.
Nice.
We came up with that idea simply just to peel back that curtain, right? It's not just for consumers out there. It's also for other agents. There's some motivational aspects that are really important to me personally that we'll talk about in that podcast, like how to stay motivated day in and day out in a lonely business.
It's hard.
So
finding motivation, a different motivation day by day, it can be challenging.
Yeah. It can be, and it is challenging. And I think we all go through like the ups and downs of business, being an entrepreneur, a business owner, a 1099. It's difficult. And so for me personally, I like talking about those things out in the open because I feel like they're not talked about enough.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's almost like I used to say when we started Bricks and Risk, because that was right when the partnership from my old brokerage, Copper Hill Real Estate, was ending. It was very therapeutic because I was like talking about no regret.
Yeah.
If anything, I looked at it as like, that was such a good learning lesson for my next step in the residential real estate industry. And we would like talk about it on the show and like, it would just naturally come up like the people I hired or the mistakes I made or partnerships or marketing errors or like, I thought this was going to happen, but it didn't happen. And why didn't it happen? And I think podcasts for me as a listener, I started listening probably right around like quarantine. So it's probably been about 5 years or so I've been listening. And that alone has given me such a different perspective into residential real estate. And I was already doing it for like 10 years. And I had a brokerage and I had a team and I had employees and I had success and money and all that stuff. I had all that. And I'm like, I started listening to the first one I ever started listening to. I'm going to give a shout out to my boys right here, Matt Vi and Dr. Ben from the Brokerpreneur podcast out of Tampa. And they were the only podcast that I could find anywhere. I was talking about recruiting agents, not in a traditional sense. This is how you get people to come join you. No. How do you talk to people that don't work at the same brokerage as you that may want to work alongside you for whatever reason? Collaborating, investing. They want to be on your team. They just want to learn. They want to share leads. They want to open houses. They want to do buyers. They want to do sellers, whatever. So they were literally just like giving me this huge education on like a topic that you couldn't even find books on.
Right.
So I think what you're doing with your show is really good because being that you've been listening for 5 years yourself, you're like, I want to do a show about this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm not hearing that enough. And maybe Ryan and I got something to add.
Yeah. And I just don't think it's talked about, right? It's so common in our businesses that we like, well, I've been in the business for 50 years. And it's like, I've never done things that way before.
Right.
It's like, well, things have changed, right? There's new processes. There's new agents. There's
Zoom calls.
There's
that,
Zoom
right?
calls. Right. Right. Like, what? We don't have to sit down in person? Exactly. Yeah. The rotary phone is gone. So it's just, it came to fruition with that idea in mind where you just want to kind of open things up for people to see it for what it really is at the end of the day.
Yep.
So
that's awesome.
Well, and it demystify, right? Like is like set the record straight is because there are those assumptions out there. So it's like, let's just put them aside. Let's bring you in.
There's so much going on right now. There's so much chatter.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lawsuits happening. There's public battles happening between,
you can
syndication
say,
rights.
I know, like,
and
the Zillows of the world and Compass. It's just crazy. It's like when does that all stop?
One big pissing match.
Yeah, it is. That's all it is. And it's like, well, is Compass going to lose their market share because Compass is suing for antitrust? Like, it's like, give me a fucking break.
Who cares?
Right.
Just go out and
keep
sell.
your head down and do what you're doing.
Just go out, make new relationships, sell some homes, make some happy clients, and carry on.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right. So for biggest struggle, you had said learning when to back away and let go of other people's problems. Why has that been a struggle for you?
Oh man, I'm a fixer. I'm a fixer.
I gotta say, I'm like that too.
I want to
That's
fix
my natural.
everyone's
I want to help. I
problems.
want to fix.
Yes, I want to feel like somebody.
Interesting.
It's like my kryptonite in life. I want to fix everything for everyone and make them happy.
Yep.
And
People pleaser.
It's just my human nature.
Yep.
You know, I'm a convincer. Like I've got friends that are struggling right now, like mentally, and I'm like, I want to fix you by
how
having.
can I help you?
Yeah, and it's like, well, you can't.
Yeah. Unless you got some extra pills.
Exactly.
Like I don't. I'm not a pharmacist.
Right.
That's funny.
I know somebody.
yeah. But I
got
can
a guy.
introduce you.
I got a guy.
In our office recently,
That's not true.
we'll edit that too.
Right.
I had Trudy. I said, listen, conversations on the phone, like keep them short, like, you know. And she got one day and it was, how's your day going? And it was like someone just was like, oh, let me tell you how my day's
you asked,
going. And I'm like, I told you.
Don't
You
do
know?
it.
Such a tough question to ask. It's like playing with fire.
All right. So again, let's just call it wanting to help people
Yeah.
that who you think might need some help, or maybe they've told you they need some help. Why has that been kind of a struggle? Like, what about that has been hard for you?
Because there's people out there that are waving their hands for help. There's no doubt, right? And then you see other people that need the help and they're not asking for the help.
Okay.
So for me, naturally, it's like those are the people I want to help.
Gotcha.
I want to keep them from failing.
You're being like intuitive, like you can
Yes.
see it
Yeah.
unfolding. You're like, just if you would just write your email like this, if you would just market
You
yourself
would
like
just
that.
do it like this. It'll work.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I've been there.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
That's interesting. It is tough.
Because they don't necessarily want the help.
Right. It is actually it's kind of like podcasting where, you know, what we've learned, one of the things we do is, again, we wanted to help people get a little bit better at business. It's really become kind of like an educational, tactical, like thought-driven show for small business owners.
Yeah.
Like, you know, real estate, again, insurance, but it's also like, let's say you're running like a hoagie shop. And you're like, I bake my own bread. Like I hand slice every hoagie. Like I do the onions and the lettuce and the tomato like real thin. So every bite is awesome. And like, that's what they're trying to do. I want them to listen to our show.
Yeah.
Because what we're talking about applies to anyone in business, even in corporate America, like selling yourself, as you have put it. Like you may be going to hospitals in Milwaukee in negative 20-degree weather, but guess what? You're selling yourself to that hospital. You're trying to build trust with them so that they will listen to what you have to say, building rapport. Okay, Justin, now you can tell me why it's going to be cheaper to ship with you than Billy down the road who likes cheese curds like I do, and you like cheese steaks.
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't
we're not the
mesh.
same.
We're not the same.
Not
Yeah.
quite.
It's difficult, man.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult dynamic, and to understand the lane that you have to stay in, helping somebody, it's challenging, right? It's common to overstep your boundaries.
Very common.
Well, it's funny you said, I am like everyone, I will tell this to everyone. Like, it's probably the worst thing to come to me and tell me that you're thinking of starting a business.
It is.
It's-
Glass half empty Mooney.
No,
That's what we call him.
No.
Why would you do that?
No. In the
Victor's so positive.
Yes.
Who is this
What's
guy?
positive do I know?
in the arena of business starting, I am like 1,000,000%. Let me be your biggest cheerleader. You can do it. Oh, you'll do it. You'll kill it.
Yeah.
And I've done this for like 5 people who I'm like, stop doing that. Get started over here.
Yeah.
And I think like, oh man, and they've all panned out. I literally had,
You're like, thank God.
dinner with one recently where he was like, oh, I decided to go into business for myself. I'm like, all right, let's get dinner. Let's get dinner like next week. When are you available?
What can I tell you about the hell of my day that'll make your day that much better?
No, I am just like, let me try to like help you figure out how to.
You're just trying to help him or her out.
I know, but I always think of that one time where I'm like the cheerleader, and then it's like all just like
It blows
falls
up.
apart, and they left their corporate job. I'm like,
You know what it is too? It's like trying to get in the mind of other people.
Can't.
And you can't. You think you can.
Yeah, you
right?
can't.
And I'm like trying to take what I'm thinking and insert it in your brain.
We're three married guys with lots of history and relationships. There's no way we can get in our wives' minds.
And I
Never
wish.
gonna happen. I wish. It's crazy.
No, but there's a thought that if you can just get them to think and see how I think and see.
Just flip the switch a little bit.
And it's never quite that.
It's never quite that. And that's where I feel like, peeling back my time and learning to step away a little bit. I feel there's a lot of people, they don't want to fail, but they have to fail. They need to experience the failure to know what it feels like. And I think that's what also keeps me coming back to real estate over and over and over again, is because with every failure, there's a lesson learned with
Every
it.
time.
And so
Personally or professionally.
yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of them, and it's, we all have. But it's exciting to me to kind of like, oh shit, I really botched that one.
Right.
I can do it better this way.
Yep.
Love it.
It's always it's getting better.
Yeah.
After every failure.
It's a drive. It's really what it is. It's a drive to succeed, drive to do more, drive to be different, change, adapt.
Yep.
Whatever it might be.
All right, so your tip for the B&R listeners and watchers was don't wait for motivation to show up, build it through action. Success comes from doing the small, hard things, even when you don't feel like it. Start moving, planning, speaking it, and the motivation will catch up with you. Why that tip?
I love that tip. It resonates with me personally, right? Inaction is one of the worst things that you can do.
Yep.
You have an idea, just tease out that idea a little bit and then go run with it. If it falls on its face, pick it back up and try again a different way. I didn't think, what we were doing with the show was going to come to fruition. It's been like an idea of mine for over a year. And I was just like, screw it. We're going to do it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll try again a different way. Same thing with real estate. My only thing with go ahead.
I mean, what's the worst that can come of it?
Right.
Lose a little bit of time, a little bit of money.
But you're not, because
It's true. You're investing it.
if you do it, let's just say just nothing else. Like literally you have 0 downloads, you have 0 watchers. You're just by way of trying to do it, get out there. I mean, there's going to be something. It'll never be 0. You're always, there's always
Someone's
going to
always
be,
intrigued.
right? And so let's just say it's social media material that you're able to put out from the podcast. I mean, there's always going to be something in it. So it's never a waste of time to try something new, try to do something.
Remember when we, the first month, just over a year ago, we released Bricks and Risk, and we had a lot of content in our backlog. So we dropped like 15 episodes in like a month. The first month we started, and it was just like everywhere. And people are like, what is this? Like, who are these guys? Why is he dressed the way he's dressed? Why does Tim seem so much more normal than Victor? And remember in the beginning, we were like posting stuff to like YouTube and we'd get like 5 views. We're like, yo, dude.
Yo, yesterday had 5
people watched
and
that
now there's
thing?
like 8.
We're talking about feeding fish versus teaching the fish. Still to this day, one of my favorite episodes has like 10 views in over a year. I'm like, oh, I love that one. I was like, well, guess what? Only 10 other people thought the same way. And then we got other ones, they're 1,000 views. And we had a short the other day. It was a 4,000 views. We're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen? Do you know how that happens? We were committed to doing it.
Yeah.
We stayed consistent and we're not giving up. And now we're like over a year in and we're talking to people. The guest we just had on before you, as we said, he's been doing it for 5 years. Or we had another guest on that we were talking about earlier than that, and he's been doing it for 7 years. And it's like all these people have been doing it after the 5 years or the 7 years, or even the 2 years. They're like, one of the greatest things I ever did for my career.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to be yourself, build a personal brand.
Yeah, for
you get
sure.
smarter through the process.
And you get to see different things, right? Like when I got into real estate, I was all systems go, 100 hours, 100 miles per hour, and trying to do as many transactions as I possibly could cram into the year. And it's like, you think that that's the way. And then you meet people And it's like, oh, I did 10 last year, but I'm also doing this, or I have this and I'm doing this. And it's like, oh shit. Okay. Well, hang on a second. Let me reanalyze what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because am I really passionate about going 100 miles per hour and missing time with family and friends and activities and vacations and stuff like that? Not really.
Well, it stems from when we talked about it previously, is that are you doing it because you want to do that and that is your goal? Or are you doing it and working those hours and trying to cram in everything you possibly can because this brokerage has designed a cattle chute to ensure that you're doing it the way they want to do it? And I think that, we talk about and reference that Garrett Maroon episode. And if anybody out there hasn't seen the Garrett Maroon episode,
so good.
Do more sales. Build a bigger team, more and more and more. And then he came across it one day on a whiteboard and he's like, erase it all. And he literally had his goal tracking and how many calls,
how many deals, how much volume calls.
And he like literally erased it all and put up his top 3 goals that for him personally were or what was going to drive his business that day forward. It changed his whole entire thinking about the way he was going to do real estate, and transformed his business to a whole different level going forward.
Yeah, I think it's a smart thing. I think that approach, that thought process doesn't live in the life cycle of a realtor.
No,
every single day it doesn't. So this year has been different for me. I'm not going to do what I did last year. Almost by design.
Yeah, exactly.
I look at my goals, right? I kind of got them emojied out. I've got, the people, the time, and the heart.
Love it.
The poop didn't come in.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's on Mooney's.
Yeah, exactly.
Move that over here.
It's like got stateside oranges.
Yeah, right.
The poop.
Yeah, it's like, you're looking at the people that you're around, the amount of time that you're spending in a day.
Right.
And then, are you loving what you do?
Totally, man.
Right. That's like at the top of my board. Right now.
Awesome episode, man. So before we shut this one down, why don't you tell our listeners and watchers where they can find you and everything you got going on?
Awesome. Well, you can find us on Instagram. I'm at Real Justin Heath on Instagram, at Selling Greater Philly on Instagram, sellinggreaterphilly.com, and then Behind the Sign Pod on Instagram.
And we'll link it all up.
Yeah, we'll link it all up.
A lot of links in there.
Yeah.
Great. All right, that's all we have for this one, folks. Thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Bricks and Risk. See you next week. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Bricks and Risk. Our goal is that you walk away with 1 or 2 valuable nuggets, and we greatly appreciate you sharing your time with us today. You can find all BNR episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcast content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.